Good afternoon and thank you for coming. Today I want to talk about the grand jury indictment involving a 7-year-old cold case. 22-year-old Shaquierra Pinckney went missing on August 30th, 2015 from her parents' home in Daytona Beach. She was reported missing to law enforcement on September 1st to the Daytona Beach Police Department. On September 3rd, her burned body was discovered in a remote private cemetery in East Palatka, Florida. Her killer never intended for her to be found. Yesterday, a grand jury indicted Lorenzo Benjamin Hudson on first-degree murder charges, bringing this cold case closer to justice for Shaquierra's family. Call it divine intervention, dumb luck, or perhaps just happenstance. I believe in divine intervention, but that morning, a crew of mortuary workers came out to the Gethsemane Baptist Church Cemetery to dig a grave and to mow the surrounding area for an upcoming funeral service and found Shaquierra's body. Her body badly burned beyond recognition. During an autopsy, the medical examiner discovered Shaquierra was about 4 months pregnant. Detectives were also able to photograph very distinguishable tattoos that would link our case with the Daytona Beach Police Department's missing persons case. Pinckney was known to access and place photos online of the then popular adult website. We believe Hudson also utilized this website to solicit sex, and that is how the pair met. Pinckney's missing Honda Accord was found days later in St. Johns County, abandoned in the Flagler Estates property. It's believed that Hudson had left the vehicle there. There's so much more I'd like to tell you about this case and about our suspect, but at the end of the day, we want a conviction, so I cannot divulge any information such as motive or any other facts surrounding the case that could potentially compromise its integrity. Doing so would be a miscarriage of justice and so unfair to Shaquierra and her child. So that part will have to play out in court. Both our partners with the State Attorney's Office are prepared to move forward with, and we are confident they will secure justice for Shaquierra and her unborn child. Joining me here at the podium is Mark Johnson of the State Attorney's Office Homicide Investigative Unit, who I'll invite to make a few remarks here shortly. This was a complicated case with several jurisdictions handling different parts of the case. We had a missing person in Daytona. Then we discovered Ms. Pinckney's remains in a remote cemetery here in Putnam. Then her vehicle was found in St. Johns County. Despite numerous attempts by the suspect to confuse our detectives, we were determined to find justice for Shaquierra, her unborn child, and her family. The case went cold, but I'm so proud of the work done not only by our detectives, but also the State Attorney's Office in securing this indictment that came out yesterday afternoon. We never gave up. One of our most important functions is to serve as a voice for Shaquierra and those like her, who was silenced when her life was brutally taken. She will never be forgotten by me or my detectives who worked tirelessly to bring Hudson one step closer to justice. We climbed a mountain together to get here and remain committed to working even harder to see that Hudson is held accountable for this heinous crime, which ended not one, but 2 precious lives, all too soon. As we grieve together with Shaquierra's family, we also celebrate a milestone here today in bringing them closure by announcing this indictment. I want to thank our other agency partners, including the Daytona Beach Police Department and the St. Johns County Sheriff's Office, who were instrumental in solving this case. Hudson is currently at the State Department of Corrections, serving a 5-year prison term at the Okaloosa Work Camp for a slew of burglary and grand theft charges dating back to 2018. He was due for release in December of this year. He's now facing a total of 4 new charges to include capital felony murder of an unborn child, 2nd-degree felony abuse of a dead body, and 3rd-degree felony tampering with physical evidence. Mark, would you like to make a few remarks?
I don't have many words to say today, but today was made possible by the persistence of a number of individuals. Number one, Shaquierra's family, many conversations that I've had on the phone with her grandmother, who is constantly calling to check up on the case and make sure that Shaquierra's voice would be heard one day. Also, the persistence of investigators with the Putnam County Sheriff's Office, and as well as my office, who from day one believed in this case, and because of their determination and hard work, we were able to bring these charges today. And I want to thank the grand jury yesterday, who we presented the case to, who saw the case as we saw it, and believe that now was the time that justice should be done. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. I don't think that enough can be said about the collaborative effort and the cooperation that took place to bring this case to fruition. Like I said, with our partners at the State Attorney's Office, the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, who helped us process the evidence, the Daytona Beach Police Department, and the St. Johns County Sheriff's Office, as well as Mark indicated, the grand jury who returned this indictment for us yesterday. Although Shaquierra will never be with us again, her memory will live on in our hearts. And we're thankful for all of those who took part in this investigation and worked tirelessly to bring it to closure. And with that, I'll take a few questions.
Actually, I have a question for Mark. Mark, given the severity of the charges and the number of charges and the fact that we're not talking about one victim but two victims, is your office going to pursue this as a death penalty case?
That is a decision that has...
Actually, could you, sorry.
That is a decision that is yet to be determined, so we'll do that internally within our office in the coming days.
We got a report that September 18, 2015, Hudson was pulled over, or you all pulled over a possible homicide suspect. Ended up being Hudson. Was that for this specific case?
I can't talk about any of the details. As I said, it could potentially compromise the integrity of the investigation, and that's the last thing we want to happen here today.
I know you can't go into the details, but are you at liberty to say whether or not if DNA evidence links him to this crime, or digital evidence links him to this crime, considering we're talking about it's called the backpages.com? Are you able to say if at least those two link him to the crime?
There are so many more details in this case that I'm eager to share with each of you here. Unfortunately, again, to preserve the integrity of the case, I can't go there right now.
He's in, I guess, a workhouse facility. What becomes the next process? Is he taken out of that minimum security and then placed in max, or how does that work out now with this situation?
Yes, that transfer is pending or may have already happened. We notified the Florida Department of Corrections immediately, and they have taken steps to ensure that he's moved to a maximum security location until he's transported back here to the Putnam County Jail, where he will be held until trial.
Will he be allowed a bond for something like that, or?
No.
Once he's...
No, he will not be allowed the benefit of a bond.
And do you guys have to wait until his sentence plays out until December when he's officially released from the Department of Corrections?
That's more of a Mark question.
Well, I know that he'll be transported here for his arraignment, and that'll kind of kickstart the case. Where he's going to be housed, that'll be determined by other officials. What's the safest for the community. His sentence will continue to run until December. Where he will be at between now and then, or for other people to determine.
Is there any indication to suggest that he acted alone in all of this? Or any indication that you guys could be also looking for other suspects or people with knowledge of what happened or played a part?
We do not believe there are any suspects who acted with him in this case. Okay, thank you all very much.